Oh la la. Hey, Joe Mark. Cheers, buddy. That's very kind of you to say that, man. Appreciate you. Oh, sweet blues. Still awake, buddy. Your boy will star, baby. Yeah, I'm sweating. I'm dirty as frack. I just got back from the Home Depot. I think that's what you call this in the US. Because I had to buy some more tiles. So while I might look semi-decent on the surface, in reality, it's dog shit city. Runaway Lopez. All right, good. Oh, random, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Oh, Charlie in the house too. Shout out to all the freaking legends. Yeah, we are going to have a look at the Salem Saleh game for sure. I was thinking about YouTubing the World Cup, but the problem with it is that I'm almost a day and a half delay. So it's hard to do, man. We should have a vote on whether or not I should cover the World Cup, despite the fact that if I did, I would be about a day and a half behind all other YouTubers on the globe and the events in general. Ah, Science! Howdy, buddy. Welcome. Also, I need to do something about the Wales situation. Because I keep on getting feedback that the audio is shit. Which is very weird to me, because when I listen to it, it's totally fine. So I don't understand. Maybe it's the difference between listening to it with a headset versus just comp audio without the headset. I don't know what it is, but something is definitely not working. Ah, Willie's a kid. Thank you, buddy. All right, let's have a look at the Saleh game first. Now that we are at it, how bad is this layout while I'm choosing the game? It's actually not that bad. Oh, is it Yospem? Jose Martinez. Yeah, that's Yospem, right? Oh, this one was a hot one, guys. Have you seen this? This one was a really hot one. Benjamin Gledura. Don't call him Benjamin, please. If you want to flex your Hungarian muscles, then call him Benjamin. We call him in Hungarian Benji, which I guess is an overlap with the English. But if you pronounce it in Hungarian, it's actually Benjamin. Pish posh. I don't understand what you mean FIDE. FIDE is a world body of chess. This tournament is the World Cup. You don't need to watch FIDE. You need to watch the World Cup, brother. Right, so this is what happened in the Gledra game. Yeah, I would recommend the Woodpecker, yes. I have the book of the positional one, and I use it for coaching quite a bit. This is definitely an unusual take, D3. So here, You basically either go rook e1 or you take. Or maybe third c3, but d3 is definitely an oddball. Which I think was intended to try to confuse the opponent. Yeah, this is odd one. Okay, let's go. Knight f6, knight c3. Yep, all real. Castles, time to take c6. No, not yet. e5 is also good, but now it is. Yep. Yep. Bruce Eric with the follow. Note, by the way, already the time discrepancy with Gledra still in positive time. Black is already 20 minutes in. First sign that your opponent is trying to figure out what the hell is cooking. f6. Do we want the bar? But no, f the bar, right? Take, take. Queen e2. So now e7 is bleeding a bit. Yeah, this feels weird. No bar. That's what she said too. You also follow Feingold. He was a good friend, so he isn't anymore. What has he done to you? Bishop g5. Ooh, boy, this is looking like... Ay, 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 ay. And this is actually where when Gledura pulled the trigger on a very, very clever tactic. If you haven't seen the game, you can try to come up with some smart ideas, ladies and gentlemen. What would you do? What would we do here? Beautiful idea. The beginning of a marvelous combo. No, no one is chatting. I love that. I love that when there is absolutely zero incoming. So the beginning of the business is that we take this guy. Since pawn takes back hangs the rook, therefore bishop takes is forced. And now we can go knight e4, which is a double attack on these two. However, the big question is that what do we do after bishop takes b2, which was the big failure? This is where the sexy move comes. And Willie the Kid says c3, but what is the idea? Ah, science, good one, man. Homemade meatballs are always good. Stuff your face with that as best as you can. So how does this c3 move work? Exactly. Exactly. So c3 is played with the idea of this knight f6 check. Now, when I saw this last night, I assumed that the idea was that after bishop a1, knight f6, king f7, we take this, which essentially is a mate threat, as well as hitting the queen, as well as hitting the bishop, and this is game over. But this wasn't played. And I wonder if the reason why it wasn't is because queen d8 kind of holds here. As hard it is to believe. Wait, don't we have knight e5 here? Oh, we don't. Knight e5, king a here, the queen escapes, and then the king has a... Yeah, wow. I don't think we can beat queen d8, guys. That's wild. That is wild. Wait, and what if... Wait, I'm still not sold on this. What if I go check and here with the idea of mate here? Oh, then d6. F a duck. Wow. Is that true? Okay, final attempt. Final attempt. Can I start with queen here? And if d6, then I had the idea of nothing at all. Maybe queen in. Oh. Hello. Knight mate next. Oh la la. That's not half bad, mate. Yes, Pyroclastic, it is indeed. It is indeed. I don't quite know what you mean by more important than the rook. I'm guessing you're referring to this rook, which is completely irrelevant. But yeah, I'm still coming to terms with, or rather, I still am not coming to terms with white. This is not winning. So queen back, queen e5. And if d6, I go here. No, not on this card, but I don't think we need it, do we? Happy now? Is it better? e5 now. It's mate in few, in it? Oh, I don't have knight g... Or I do. This is... Well, I mean... This has to be winning for white one way or another. Because now I have got like something like... Oh, wait. Actually, let me calculate before I talk. Okay, so the number one plan I would follow here is check here and takes. And I think that black is cooked, because after take now we've got mate. And if you don't take... Oh yeah, queen f7 is mate, so yeah. Hello, Tana. Okay, so I'm officially going to make the call that after knight f6, knight e8, queen d8, white is winning with queen e5. That's my call, and I'm gonna check this with the engine because I'm curious if I'm an idiot or not. Knight e8, queen d8, the engine's best is knight c7, queen e5 is not top 3, so we blundered. Queen e8? Shit. I didn't even consider this. Oh la la. Okay, yeah, we blundered. Knight g5, we also blundered it after king e8, queen f3. d6 is not playable due to check. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, that's fair. How do I kill the bar? I don't know how to kill the bar. Yeah, Tana, for sure, man. Absolutely we do. Anyway, so the point is that our good friend Gledura, how the frick do you get rid of with the bar? I don't know. I don't see I don't see a way to kill the bar. Anyway, 95 was played. That was the glorious idea. This is absolutely sensational. The point is that if you go king takes, then we are going to find a mate. Check here, and now let's go for mate in 2. First team best dress. Let's go. Cooked his vocabulary. Yeah, you gotta keep up with the kids, man. H4 then king back, and then you don't have mate. Knight f7 is not mate because of king here. There was a reason why I said it's mate in 2. Thank you, Tana. Received. No. If you don't do it with checks, shame on you. Nah. Everyone in this chat must see mate in 2 with checks. Otherwise, you have to check yourself out of the stream and check back in. Mate in 2. So if you type in one move, I'm gonna cry. That's actually not mate, buddy, because after g3 I can come down here. I'm nothing short of amused by the fact that I said it's made in 2 and no one bothered to type in a sequence that was 2 moves. And I'm looking at 6 comments. That's that is quite an impressive. That is quite an impressive take. So I will wait. And still no one is giving me a mate in 2. Finally, Runaway Lopez typed in a mate in 2. Knight f7, king h4, mate. This is mate in 2. Bingo. Very good. Question number 2. Where is my mate after king here? Which is a most beautiful checkmate you will see today. No RDPXI because you didn't type in the rest, so that doesn't count. That's like saying that you had your way with Sydney Sweeney because once upon a time you were in the same city with her. Like, no, that doesn't cover it. Thank you, Tana. That means that you were in the same city. Very good, very good. So this is a beautiful checkmate here. And so finally, after king f8, I suspect that there is a lot of winning ideas here, but one in particular stands out, which is absolutely glorious. What is that? Joe Mag, welcome in, buddy. Good to have you on board, brother. Mr. Murota, welcome back, welcome back. So what do we do now? Queen f3, that's the move, ladies. That is the move. And now these three, well, 3.5, are going to ensure that we are going to murder the black king. Take here. Check here, check here, check here. Where is my fastest checkmate? Let me see quick. I'm guessing it's gonna be check. Yeah, check here and then check here. Here, check here and mate. Neat. I might have missed something faster, but I don't think I did. Knight g5, that's not gonna be played. Yeah, knight check, back queen f3. And it's over. The game finished with queen takes e5, giving up the queen. Queen takes then d6. Queen f4, ef, and Gledura collected the piece and went on to win the game without too many dramas. Oh yeah, queen f7, knight g6 and rook e8 mate. Yeah, that's correct, Willie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You found a much faster mate than me. Good job. Goody, goody. All right, and with that, I got my first FIDE rating yesterday. Sweet blues, look at you go. What's your first rating, brother? We are going on to Mr. Tanner. $17.80. Shout out to you, you young man. You beastly young man. Okay, so Tanner and the Sveshchikov. Let's go. Okay, the following theory. I do this all the time that I go to f5, and usually the engine corrects me that I should be going to g6. But I think it's a small detail that we're going to allow to slide. The advantage of putting the knight on g6 that it seriously discourages any kinds of f4 breaks. Yeah, Runaway, you know the conditions, you know the drill. Bishop e7 correct, castle's correct, castle's correct. Tanner, I would give you a 4.9 stars for the opening. I don't know about this because you're... yeah, so you're forcing bishop d3, which is obviously something that white is not unhappy to do. And you're also kind of forcing f4, after which the knight might become shit a bit loose. I pressed the wrong button there. So, but yeah, objectively speaking, it's not a biggie. So let's move on. Bishop d7 followed by rook c8 looked like a very, very reasonable alternative. Depending on what white does, you can even follow it up with b5. Sub 1800, one book recommendation, Alekhine selected games. Would be one. Let me think. Hellsten opening strategy would be another, but that may be a bit hard. What do I have here that is very good? Oh! Yeah. Chess Principles Reloaded by ChessCoachAndras. Could be one. Yeah. One of those, I reckon. May you have the pleasure of playing me. No. But I am very, very happy to have you on board, sir. You are cordially invited to stay and grow with us as chess players. Cheers. Welcome in Gita Picker for Life. This, my friend, is dominantly a channel where I analyze games, I run lecture type of things to the benefit of the audience. So if you would like to improve your chess, you have come to the best possible place there is. Any other case? Maybe not. No, my system is too outdated and it doesn't have enough focus on tactics, which sub 1800 would need to have. Alright, so let's go on. Knight d4 played by Tenor, bishop d3, f5. So nothing untoward about this Tenor, but you need to know that typically you're likely to get hit with some counter pawn move. But I think we are fine here because of bishop f6. Yeah, you can random. And that's, how is that off topic? That's completely on topic. What, it did Great Al? Oh, Big Al, Great Al. He's no longer Big Al, ladies and gentlemen. Big Al has graduated, got promoted to Great Al. And now we are waiting for Al Jr., also known as Steven, to join the party. Welcome in, good sir, welcome in. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Big Al is a celebrity. Look at you go. Everyone is like, hey, Big Al in the house. Queen to e8. Now, that is the first move that I don't necessarily like / even understand. So let's talk shop here, Tanner. If I gave you another move after Queen e8, what would you play? You already played f5, buddy. Like, you can't play f5 twice in the same chess game unless you have double pawns. f4. Okay, so now comes a wicked twist in this story. Why on earth do you need Queen e8? Baby! Thank you, runaway. So why do we need Queen e8 to play f4? I don't understand how that makes sense. What? Oh, you were concerned about Queen h5. Which is a genuine concern, by the way. Yeah, actually, I quite like that reasoning. No, that is valid. I mean, you have g6, which is a forced draw, but if you don't like the look of that, then I think you were in the right to deny queen h5. My only problem with that move, as in with queen e8, is that potentially now this is going to become quite obnoxious because you want to keep this bishop. And as long as your queen is on d8, knight a4 is almost always well met by capture. So I would have preferred something like bishop d7 still. But I totally understand the logic of queen e8, and as such I'm going to go with it. Oh, they did play knight a4. Wow. Okay. Now, if you play f4 now, that's 100% poo. Like, here f4 shouldn't even be a candidate move. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Sam. And the reason for that is because f4 is only an option for you if you have a guaranteed f3 follow-up. And you do not have that because after takes, I can do 5,000 things that stops f3. And so we're just splitting our pawns. It just doesn't work. Like in contrast, if you played f4 here and they took, then after takes, knight is hanging. And it doesn't matter where the knight goes, you go f3 next. And now you are ripping into their king like mad. This is decently playable, right? But the same idea without you hitting the knight with a tempo. Like, once again, I don't know how to put it. This was not even a candidate move. Not even. Like anything but f4. Because there is nothing here. You have got now a shite pawn structure and no kingside attack. Yo, once upon a time, beautiful. Look at this beautiful pawn formation here. Covering all these squares and restricting white a great degree. They have been completely split. And they are now not collaborating whatsoever. And after knight b6, rook b8, queen f3, you have got scattered pieces all over the shop and no attack whatsoever. So going back here, this was a tough moment, but it was also definitely a moment not to pursue f4. As ugly as it looks, I think I would have played here bishop d8 to deal with knight b6. Look, to be honest with you, because you might feel like, well, I played this opening totally well and yet I lost. So why did that happen? So I want to give you a very thorough answer. f4 here, in my opinion, is a very good move. And it sucks that it's a forced draw. But sometimes when you are black, that's the best you get. And that's it. Now, if you refuse to take a forced draw, very often that means by definition that you are willingly taking on a inferior position. That is basically the narrative of this game. You played a really good opening and you had at the very least a draw. Now bishop f5 is not good actually. f4, queen h5, bishop f5. I think bishop d4 is like we're borderline losing here. No, neither of them are playable, actually. Like, this is just outright losing. Whoa, Anthony, welcome in. Because the point is, can someone see the tactical justification why we are losing here by force? What is White's winning move here? Hello, Russian friend, RC. Is that RC? I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. Yeah, bishop b6 in between move, hits the queen, and we're going to be up a piece. This is why bishop f5 was in fact not playable. Knight f5 was, and is probably the least of the evils. But now after bishop b6, queen d7, your position is not attractive. And then I was quite modest with my wording. If you play h6 here, then we are falling apart on account of this. And I have a very, very bad feeling that someone is getting mated here. Maybe rook a4. And that's not our opponent, but us. Joe Mug, you're more than welcome to send the game, yes. You know the conditions, I assume. If not, then read it at your own convenience. So yeah. So now we took on some concessions, and those concessions... Oh! Okay, so this is infinitely stupid, because it allows our bishop to become a beast. So your opponent here... Yes, that's correct. That is correct. Tana, you are correct. Yes. There are some exceptions to that rule too, but by far and large it stands. So after f3 they should have taken the bishop first, and then probably even then not engage but play g3. And now the pin, the loose d4 pawn, the better white bishop, all of these would add up to a very, very comfortable edge for white. Now after f3 takes comes the most mysterious move of the game. Yeah, that's all good, Random. Go for it, buddy. Chat, what would you play here for black? Science in general, the newer the edition, the better it is. Oh, Rando, thank you, brother. Cheers, legend. So, chat, what's the move? I do not recommend queen g6 check here because that's a little bit under attack. Just a bit smidge. What do you mean, does that count, Al? Does it count for what? Of course it does count. It makes you an absolute legend. Is bishop f5 bad? Nope, it's horrid. It is not bad, it's horrid. I don't understand why bishop f5 is a candidate move here. What plan do we have here with black where bishop f5 fits in? I'm so and utterly confused. But broskies, like, what are you talking about? Like, who said that they are going to take this? And even if they did, I don't understand the rook leaf talk. Like, what? Like, we want to attack f3. Not by any chance checkmate the king. I'm so confronted by what you guys are saying. So bishop h3 in my opinion, is the only sensible move in this position, and nothing else makes any sense at all. Like, let's have a look at what we have got for targets. The king and this. Both of those are utterly vulnerable in terms of light squares. So, hello mate setup already here. As opposed to let's trade our best attacker, still struggling the pin on the e file, and introduce the queen. What? I can't poke a stick at anything in this position that I like for black. Like none. Whereas after bishop h3, at least I have got a constant mate threat. The queen is disconnected from me. The bishop is doing absolutely sweet nothing. And the knight on b6 is also sidelined. Queen h5 is interesting. Cheeky. Hey, Gozzy. The idea being that after rook f7, maybe queen check is on. Ooh, that's smart. That is smart. Tanner, that's airy-fairy talk. As you already know, that's airy-fairy talk. What is the line that says it's not good enough? Where is my line? There's no line, no love. Yeah? The only sensible way to dislodge this is here, which is going to make your previous line, the bishop f5 line, about 4 times better. Because if you compare it now, first of all, we denied queen d4. Second of all, we are doubling in. The rook is already introduced, and the queen is on a good square. When you compare that to the game, your rook is on a shiter square. The queen has captured the pawn. Our queen is still not in the action. We're still pinned. I mean, it is close, but nowhere near that good. Like, this is a trade that you should not initiate. This is a trade that you should make white try to work out and make them spend 2 moves on. Like, this is where you lost the game. That you played bishop f5. This was your cardinal sin. If you lost it. King h1 is supremely dumb though. So now we're kind of back-ish. Yeah, good. Whoa! Okay, never mind. What? Bishop f. Are we trying to get to e5? Wait, I'm so confused. Why are we not... Isn't this mate in 2? Threat, at least? Hello? What? But, whoa, yeah, I get that, Tanner, but what about the mate? Azteca, I play e6 against it. That's my preferred method. But no matter what you choose, it's going to remain annoying. So yeah, I don't understand why we would play bishop f6 when we had rook f2 with mate. Wow, Rangao, nerding much? Alright, Tanner, what's going on, man? Talk to me. Okay, Tanner is not talking. Yeah, this whole bishop f6, bishop e5, Shimazoli, man, it made no sense. I'm sorry, but it's mate. I mean, queen g4 is false, but you're going to have similar lines to the game, except you are a pawn up. No, he didn't miss mate into. Not at all. Look. I wouldn't call it being dumb, but you overcooked it. Because this was not important, and in fact, it gets traded off right away. So, you spend 2 moves on a nothing. But again, for the level you are on, most of your mistakes are really, really forgivable and fixable. Like, we're not looking at, catastrophic mistakes that would make me facepalm myself. Like, you're yet to make a mistake that would make me go like, holy Moses, man, like, what are you doing? Yeah, as much as you don't want to trade queens, you have to. And so you might as well go after this pawn while you can. Because after take, white has got 2 hanging. No, I don't like that physics because, or that psychic because, yeah, I want to be very delicate about it, but rather I'm not saying anything. But no. Almost all the time when people self-annotate their games, they focus on the wrong things at the wrong time on the wrong moves. Okay. Okay, this is a tough endgame, but one that we should be able to hold. Not necessarily. See, this is the point. That the points where I would like to know what they were thinking is almost inevitably the part that they do not self-annotate. That's exactly the point. That almost all the time when I receive self-annotated games, 90% of what is being said is irrelevant. I hate to say it, but this is what it is. And also in their annotations, very often they assume that their decision making was correct, where in fact it was completely wrong. And it's very difficult to get them out of that mindset. Anyway, Tanner, isn't this hanging, buddy? What am I missing, brother? Okay, you're not giving me, once again, lines. You are giving me a beautiful story. Noted. Why are you stopping at rook e7 check? I can see that. I know that that's coming. I want you to tell me what made you not go into that line. We can both see the check. That doesn't help either of us to determine whether you should take this or shouldn't. That's like me, hey Tanner, do you want to go outside? And you go like, but the sun is up. I'm like, okay. Don't see how that's an answer to, should we go outside? Well, then I'm afraid, buddy, I have to poke a little bit more. Like, humor me, man. Why would I not take this? It's hanging. Check, I go king g6. What's the problem? I don't see it. The problem is that you didn't bother looking either. How is king g8 losing to rook e8? I take it. What are you going on about? Like, after this check, I cannot possibly play a move that loses for black. All four are completely fine. I don't know what that king g8 loses to rook e8 was meant to be, but no. If anything, black is better there. But definitely not losing, yeah? But like, I don't understand why you... I think you must have hallucinated that this was hanging. I don't care, man. Like, check, fine, I go here. I don't see the problem. I don't think you guys see a problem. You're all obsessing about this rook on the 7th, as if there was anything on the 7th that I needed to worry about. Like, it's mate in 1 threatened. Yeah, now you have problems to solve, buddy. This is lazy as. And we are dead now. And this goes back to my favorite mantra, by the way, that you are short on time. First of all, I'm calling bullshit on that, because you have got double the time of your opponent. So you don't have the excuse of, I'm getting nervous because I'm short on time. That excuse doesn't exist. Also, this is the critical moment of the game, and you know it. So you need to spend time, because whatever your choice, after that you should be able to play fast, but not instead or before. Yeah, after b4, I think this is struggle city, because now the white pawns are in one big island. One of them is passed. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. And the number one rule of 4 rook endings is that when you are losing, you don't trade down to 2 rooks. No matter what it takes, you keep 4 rooks on. 4 rooks are a lot more drawish than 2 rooks. All the time, every time. So that is the only move that you definitely should not have played based on principles. Yeah, you're completely dead now. That is insane that this is actually winning for white. Wow. That is rough, because this looks shit, but it actually wins. Because the white king is so active, and you have to spend these 3 moves to get 1 pawn. And now h4 is gonna kill you. I think g5 would have been a little bit more proactive, but even this loses because the king can come in here. Yeah, this is tough. This is tough. Yeah, Tana, this was rough, man. In the sense that you did not make any major mistakes whatsoever. Like, for a 1500 rapid, this was actually a very, very high quality game. And it was only small misunderstandings / mistakes that decided the game. Your opponent played a 90 accuracy, by the way. and even yours was 80, which on 1500 level is very, very impressive. So I wouldn't beat myself up about it too heavily. Yeah, the biggest takeaway for me from this game would have been that you needed to commit to f4. Yeah, it was a very fun game, lots of interesting points. Oh, and also, yeah, the other, like, bishop f5 was extremely weird. Just on a positional level, which is ironic because it's the ancient's second best move, but I can't stand it, I'm sorry. Because it just removes your attacking chances so heavily compared to this. But overall, it was a very high quality game. Very high quality game. Same as you did in the game, except you have an extra pair of pieces. Like, if you had another move here, I guess I would go to f4. And start piling up on the f. So if I play a pass, you go rook f4 or rook f5. I don't know which one. Play another pass, and you come in. You're building up this attack, yeah? And now it's getting quite gnarly for white. Whoa, Greg! What? Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Alright, let's have a look at these 3 games submitted by the random guy. I might have to take a lunch break somewhere halfway through. Thank you. Okay, so far so good. Oh, Mr. Chess. Learn Mr. Chess guy is also here. Okay, random chess guy. I tend to be on the view that as soon as your opponent castles in the Grunfeld, d5 is a genuine concern. Hey, Brazy. And so I like to eliminate that concern by taking on d4 to make it pinned to the rook rather than the pawn. Even in that case, quite often white sacrifices the exchange, but like, I want to play bishop g4, yeah? I would much rather play bishop g4 knowing that d5 is not playable because there is a rook hanging. If I were white, I would still play d5 here, but you're much happier to have a fat target than a slim target. So my general go-to is that if they castle, I take. And you see the point. Oh, thank you, Bach. So if you compare this to what happened in the game, you played here knight e5, they drop back, and then you really should have traded on f3. Yeah? And now take, 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 take. If you did it my way, now you would have a rook to capture. Hello? Now you have a pawn to capture, which you are immediately going to lose back on c5. Or you play bishop d4 and you're going to lose it on d4. So if we play out the exact same scenario, take, take here, d5, knight e5, bishop e2, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes, random melee guy won the game. That's it, it's over. Okay, so let's see how it went again. D5, 95, bishop E2. And at this point, you didn't take on F3. Why not? I'm so confused. I don't like any other move here apart from take on F3. Like the line I highlighted, I believe is still best you have for black. It's just not that good. But obviously this is still quite a pleasant position for black, being a pawn up and whatnot. The queen A5 maybe, hitting A2. Or queen B6, protecting D4 at least temporarily. Like white still needs to work to rake this pawn back, yeah? But rook C8 to me is missing the mark completely. Like, what is our plan gonna be now? Okay, so I just don't follow this whole Shimazoli. My biggest problem actually with this is not even knight f7. My biggest problem is that in this position, you have nothing to play for. This, in my opinion, is a Grunfeld nightmare. The D pawn has passed, the C pawn is not targetable. We have no plan. And very, very likely, we are going to get overrun with C4, F4, E5. I want you to have this in your brain as your ultimate, I do not want this with black in the Grunfeld. You're playing an hour of Rapid against Vladimir Belus. Good luck. Anyway, I would say that, by the way, I would look up his openings, as in GM Belus, and try to be very, very prepared so that you don't get knocked out early. That would be my first go-to. Yeah, I very strongly dislike this. And I'm not sure if I like this for white, by the way. Because now this is going to get quite hectic. For example, take D1. Yeah, so you should have taken D1. They take D8. And then play some kind of bishop move. But maybe even taking D8 and C3 is not that bad. Yeah, I actually don't dislike this. Yeah, take. What's the problem? I actually like this for black. What are we not liking about this? The first person who says that the E7 pawn is isolated is going to have to stand in the corner for 10 minutes. Well, something similar did not happen. So, no, it's not even remotely close. Okay, I completely hate this. Like, I don't even understand how you can say that this is something similar. So let's go again. After knight f7, you take this, and you take this. And you will never, I repeat, never play bishop d4. If you can help it. Which is brilliant because engine's top move, bishop d4. But I thought that we could keep it with bishop b4 and we base our play on this 3 versus 1 on the queen side. This is where my head was and still is. Like, what you did in the game is really ugly, man. First of all, with this structure, keeping queens on the board is shaky as. Like, your king is weak, this pawn mass is looking quite intimidating. Yeah, this is really bad. Like, you actually chose out here the worst case scenario of all available lines. Because at this scenario, you had an option to keep the bishops on by playing something like bishop e2. That was good. You had the option to take and take, also good. And you went for the only one that was really bad, which was to keep the queens on. Yeah, this is easily the worst case scenario. Easily, hands down. That is dumb though, because now backrank problems will emerge. Maybe f3, which funnily enough is making us feel weird, but rook d4, queen d4, rook c4, queen d4 is unstoppable. And no backrank issues. Nice. You have queen b2 shout out, yep. Yeah, and your opponent f'd it up here. So, yeah, rook c4 was too early. Hello, B Concord. Yes, Tanner, Grunfelding it up. Yeah, I think it's time to start shoving these guys up, no? b5. If queen d3, you trade, and b4. Let them run. If they take with the rook c, then you have b4. Little cheeky addition. And just run again. Yeah, I think we might have a problem here, brother. Because this king is viciously active. Absolutely viciously active. Yes, compared to the game, you would have had a lot extra tempi. A lot of extra tempi. Here, I think you're dead. I don't think that this is playable. Yeah. This is looking very, very dark, my man. Now e5 and we can resign. Yep. What the fuck is he doing? King g3. Sushi, unfortunately, buddy, you are quite far behind, back in the line. I've got about 5 more games to look at, but if you have the patience, you are welcome to sit it through. You put up a mighty good fight, Elu guy, but in the end of the day, it wasn't to be. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wait, where did you send them to me? Was it a message? Yeah, no. Wait, what? Okay, so I've got these two to get through. But where? Oh, it's in the private chat. Okay, never mind. Okay, next. Next, the Grimfeldino. E3, Lord save our souls. What? B6. Oh boy. How can you play B6 here? Oh yes, I need to add the facepalm counter. That was one. Like, bro, if you don't play C5 here, you're not a Grimfeld player. You don't belong. I'm sorry. This is illegal. To prepare C5? To prepare C5? bro, the preparation for c5, wait for it, is this move here. That is the move, right here, watch this. That's the move that prepares c5. That is your prepared to c5. I don't know what the hell did I just press there, but okay, so why don't you play c5, bro? Like, prepare. What do you want to prepare, buddy? If I could ban a single word and added thought to it from the amateur's mind, it's the prepare. Like, what the freak for, bro? But like, honestly, like, I would like you to reflect on this. Like, what made you think that c5 needed more prep than this? Like, I can't take it. So why does it need prep? In fact, this, if anything, makes it worse. Because you never, ever, ever want to take back on it with a pawn, right? As long as you can help it. So if anything, this hinders your ability to play c5. It doesn't support it. I honestly, I would have loved to be in your head when you went like, can't go c5. It's like, how did you figure that exactly? Ooh la la. Oh. I don't understand e6. Can anyone help me, please? Can anyone help me out, please? Yeesh, welcome in, buddy. Long time no see. The E6 G6 thing is a little bit outdated, but yeah, it's a completely unnecessary move. So I want to know, Tingo guy, why are we not going C5 per planned? And once again, the general idea is that, oh, it's hanging. Don't give a toss. Like, you take, and you go queen c7. This is as stock standard as it gets in the Grimfell, that you give up that pawn. And now after take, you have target here, and you have got a beautiful bishop here, a beautiful bishop here, and an insanely aggressive knight to arrive here. In fact, against most white moves, the engine prefers black, excuse me. And I don't understand what your next move is gonna be after e6. Like, why are you defending shit that is not hanging? Like, I just don't understand the thought process behind this. Did you want to play knight d7? Oh, that's what it was. You're just not helping me out here. I get it now. You wanted knight d7. Yeah. Sad days. c5 was the move, buddy. Okay. Yeah, now it's fair. Now it's fair. Okay, we got there. We got there. This part was perfect. Absolutely picture perfect. Can someone find a beautiful tactic here, which is a positional idea but tactical at the same time? Black to move and be a rock star. Not easy at all. Very good, Brazy. 95 here is the sexiest move of the game. The idea being that after knight takes, bishop takes, if you take d3 is very clearly advantageous to us. And if you play h3, then we have got this bishop f4 idea. And now if rook c2, then c4, and we pick off e4. And if the rook goes sideways, then you obtain now the file. Okay, back to game. Welcome in, randomness. Randomness. What? Okay, never mind. I thought we would take with queen, but that's fine. That was pretty neat. I like it. Yeah, that was very well done, buddy. That was very well done. Good job. No, that I really, really rate highly. Well done. That I don't. What is the optimal location for our knight, guys? In fact, I'm okay, so you went here to go here. I take it back. It makes sense. But knight f6, knight d5 with blockade was also logical. Too easy. Welcome in. Because this allows the trade. But, yeah, no, I take it back. I'm not going to criticize this because, yeah, this was perfectly logical. Okay, this is a panic room move. Give me a good move here for Black Fox. This is a textbook case, by the way, when we feel threatened by this queen. Whereas the reality is that the combination of these two create sweet f-all threats. Rook d7 is driven by the same false concept that you need to dislodge this queen. It's not a bad move, but it's unnecessary. Everyone is kicking the queen. No need. Absolutely no need. What you need to do is go rook d5, go rook f5, and then take on f2. No, it is about to be there if you put the right pieces on the right squares. The funny thing is that the moves that you're playing and the moves that you're looking for are contradicting each other. If you are looking to sell this, then why are you playing bishop c5? Yeah, this trade was absolutely awful. Like, this bishop is dog shit. It does nothing. You have a target. Trading this for this? Miserable idea. You are correct, Anna. Give me a sec, I need to duck out. I'm back. Okay. So, rook d4. Check Carino. Woo. Careful. Goody. The fuck is that? And we won. The fuck is going on? It's hanging. What? Guys, like, we really need to have a sit down, a big sit down, and talk about this time bullshit. Like, every single time some dumb stuff comes up, we go like, oh, my time. That is the reason why you need to check on shit like this. Because you need to play the best moves when everything is hanging. Because if you don't, your time will be insufficient to win. If you play this, your time will suffice to win. If you play this, it won't. Or it likely will not. Unless your opponent forces you to play only moves. Yeah, good. I'm proud of you for finding that tactic. And now we are winning with queen f3. Wait, isn't this... Hello? What? Why are we not going check? Okay, better later than never. Yep, good, good. Oh, neat. Okay, lucky last. Why is this knight going to d7, brother? Hello? Your #1 job as a Grimford player is to attack the shit out of the d4 pawn. As soon as you do this, stand in the corner for 5 minutes. What are you doing? Yeah. Like, this stopped being a proper Grimfeld right here, and it has become a, I want to suffer for the next 20 moves. Yeah, boy, this is butt ugly. Yeah, likely you're going to get mated here. What? You couldn't find a better square for his queen than d8? What's wrong with b6? Hello? What? Or did you want to draw? Because you went like, I've got a lifelong Chicken Chess Club membership. Okay, you know what? Rook b1 is annoying. I will give you that. So I will go to a6. Now, Rook b1 is somewhat valid. Rook b1 is somewhat valid. So let's go a6. That is not an idea, man. That's dog shit. Like, how is this an idea? Like, bring it. That is your idea. This is thank you for playing my team. You both White and me are playing for the same team. That is not an idea. White should try to kill you on the king side. So every move like this that they've run with on the queen side, you go like, thank you, welcome to my team. We are playing for the same result now. Brilliant. So yeah, like, what the heck. Fucking hell. This guy is struggling from one move itis and attack itis. Like, queen d2, bishop h6, h4, h5. That is the standard operation here, right? What the hell is the purpose of bishop a4 to force b5? Jesus wept. I like the moves you are playing, by the way, here. Hold on a Ticcarino. Can I go in? Can I go in or can I not go in? If you tell me that the reason why it didn't was because you wanted to keep the dark squared bishops, I'm gonna cry. Don't say that, please. So careful before you answer my question. Can we go in? You overlook knight c3. Hold on a second, brother. You just played b4. The fork was the purpose of this, if not to facilitate knight c3. That, yeah, I am reluctant to buy into that. Hola, Tindy! Welcome in, brother. Welcome, welcome. We are running through a shed load of games today, Tindy, because we got a lot of payment submissions. Yeah, I mean, what the fridge, man. Oh, the facepalm counter is gone. Sorry. There you go. Okay, so this is where we lose touch with reality entirely. Your opponent plays knight g5. What do they want to go? Knight e4. Once the knight is on e4, does it pose any threats? Well, it pretty much murders us. Should we stop it? Yes. Does knight c3 stop it tenfold? Yes. Hello? What? Tanner, that hurts my feelings more than you could imagine that you're asking that question, because I reviewed it on my YouTube channel. So now the counter question is, are you watching my YouTube channel? Alright, so we tried our best to lose this game to knight c5, and our opponent tries their best to not to win this game with knight c5. Mad respect. Okay, now I'm beginning to like black again. Ooh, this is gonna hurt, no? So here we needed to stop bishop f4, bishop e5. More importantly, you need to keep this square vacant so you can come back with the queen. So bishop f4 may not be a threat as long as we have this. Wait, bishop g7. The fuck is going? Isn't this? Hello? What? What is going on here, my friend? You managed to get checkmated after all, despite White's best efforts to not to mate you. Welcome. Welcome to the House of Madness. Mrs. Mate in one. And now he basically stopped his own checkmate too. So now we might have a draw here. Yeah? 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 I don't want to know why you went bishop e2, given that you already had a draw here with the checks. What the hell is going on here? thank God you took the throw. Like you played very hard for the loss, but in the end you managed to keep it together. Cool, cool. All right, ladies, I gotta grab lunch. But I want to leave a position on the board for you to solve. So let me just do that. Wait, can I copy these positions even? Shit, no? Really? Okay, I will give you a cheeky checkmate in 2 with a particular theme. Just bear with me. Okay, this is nice. You are going to hate me for this. Why to move mate in 2? In any time zone in Australia it is, well, except, well, even Perth. So yeah, Australian time zones. Why to move mate in 2? Hint, do not look for checks first. It's not a checking move. Be back in about a minute and a half. Mate in 2. Goodie. Nearly done, ladies. Nearly done. Is it? How is the religion task coming along, honey? Well, you have been working on it for a while now, haven't you? If you are eating, eat the small rice first. All righty, ladies. Mukbang incoming. Let me see the commentary, rather the suggestions. Oh, you are instead turning my chat into a Tinder site where you are sorting dates. Cool. Hang out, that's a clean win, buddy. Well done. I like that, beating the London. After Queen F6, King here, there is no mate in one. Normal, you are right. It is Queen D8. It is the very famous composing theme called the Starflight, when the king has got diagonal squares available, all 4 of them. And optimally, oh, I played tennis yesterday. I played like an absolute god. I hit a forehand winner, according to my coach, at least 140k per hour. And he just walked off the court and he went like, there is no way that anyone can hit a better shot on that day. So he's calling it a day. We had like 5 minutes left anyway. But when I hit that shot, he went like, nah, that's it, I give up. There's no way that anyone can hit a better shot on that day. It was a very cool rally with cross-court forehands, to and fro. And he kept pushing me wider and wider. Now, like, screw it, I'm gonna go line. And I hit it down the line winner, but like, I absolutely smoked the shit out of that shot. So, the mates. King here. Knight he mate. King here. Now you need to cover this square. So knight here is checkmate, defending the rook. King here, knight here is checkmate. And finally, king here, knight here is the mate. What makes it particularly pleasing about this puzzle problem is that all king moves are met by a matching knight move. And they're all different knight moves. So knight here, knight here, knight here, knight here are the 4 mates against the 4 king moves. Which creates a very nice symmetry or a logical flow to the solution. Okay, I think my next one is Chess with Mr. Bill. And then comes Mr. Harrington, and then comes Sushi. Can you guys ever send me a freaking PGN without random shit lines added to it? Mr. Bill, can you please have a look at your PGN and see how it has brackets in it? No, almost certainly not. It would be very competitive, but no. What about pickleball? Yeah. I don't even know what the fuck that is. The bashing... I would beat him at bashing the people who invented pickleball, I think. Alright, so while I'm waiting for Mr. Bill, we move on to the next. Which was Harrington. What's my favorite food over here? Like 10 of them. And our good friend Harrington is white. This is very good. Oh boy, that's an ugly move. What is that? We don't do bishop g2 ever in English attack. So it had to be either h4 or h4. What is this even? That was a mouse slip for sure. Yeah, this is definitely mouse slip because you also want to keep this bishop here in order to be able to meet this with capture. So the only place where you move this bishop, well, not quite the only, but the main place where you move this bishop in the English attack is d3. For example, after knight e5, so I play random move knight e5, the typical move in these scenarios could be bishop d3, so that after b4 knight back they can't jump in here. Because you can take it. But bishop g2 is horrid. Yeah, this went really poorly for white. Queen f2, b4 now. No, that's dumb. He should have played b4 first. And actually don't take this until it's forced. So knight here and then just develop. And now your piece setup is a mess. Now it's looking good again because we may be able to push this. Although I'm not sure if this was the right time of it because e5 or b4 e5 is coming even. Alrighty, so f5, decent. There was a good argument to be made for a3 to stop b4 here. Yep. That's shit. Queen a5 with b4. And also king b1, and he, black, has got a very thematic move, which I believe is correct. What would you do here, guys, for black? Yes, always sack the exchange is the name of the game. Yeah. And now bc, knight b6 is a nightmare to even look at. Whereas queen takes, pawn takes, and then knight c5 is also very unpleasant for white. I mean, knight c5 is the least logical move in the entire position because you just clogged up the entire file that you wanted to attack on. So that was like, wow. I don't know if I would have rushed this either. I would have played here f6. Take, and then bishop h3 to kick this guy in the face. I think. Yeah, that's what I would have done. Because now f6 may be clogging up everything in a very bad way, and the bishop is never gonna see daylight again. Yep. Okay, b4 played? No. That's again really bad because you're forcing your opponent to play the correct move. Instead of playing the correct move yourself and then kicking the rook in the face. That was another boo-boo there. Yeah, bishop h3 was definitely no good. Rook e1. What is the... What? Why? I don't get this move. Like, since you want to play for f6, and also your opponent is likely to play f6, the most sensible rook placement appears to be rook to g1, right? I don't see any other sensible rook move here. Okay, so here a3 looks like a chess move to me. And after take, you are okay. The alternative is to use the pawn as an umbrella pawn and hide your king here. I don't like this already because now we're getting attacked on the b file. But the worst, I think, is the one that you did. When after rook b4, we are getting killed on the b file. And we are also getting killed on the a file. So the only acceptable scenario for you here really is a3. And if takes, then takes back, but maybe b4 is possible? And then rook c2, oh la la. That's some wild stuff. Just bear with me for a sec, guys, sorry. I can certainly show him that later. Yeah. Did he say if he was gonna bring Lee? Okay. Alright. Here I am, ladies. Okay, so this could have been interesting but wild. But wild in a good way. I mean, if you think about it, opening up the C file could work to your benefit now. Because castling f6 is always terminal for black. Additionally to that, you might even have tactical ideas like knight d4. Book! And then chuck a knight on c6 and there is nothing that can hurt your king. Anyway, take. Rook b4 would have killed us. Knight d4. Yep, now your opponent is also playing for your win. Love that. Yep, c3, very good. Yep. And now horse c6 and we win. Good. Oh, broski! What? What have you done? Yeah. f6, my man. f6. gf. Go after the rookie. Maybe. No, actually this is not findable, but I still don't like knight e7 here. That was me pressing the wrong button. Nah, there's no way that I would ever touch this. Like, this knight is your best piece, man. No way. Okay, let's move on. I dislike this very, very strongly. That's cute. But do you have a threat? Yeah, I don't know, man. I find it difficult to find a plan here for white to pursue our plans. Like, I really think that this move is to blame for a lot of things here. I'm not sure what the right way is to proceed. But I don't know what black's next move is. So let's say I move here. Yeah? Let's say they pass. And then I go f6, takes, and takes again. And now at least I have this guy coming in here. I don't know what computer you're using. It's not a blunder, it's a mistake. The idea behind capturing the bishop is that there is rook e4 and then the pin is on, so the king has to move. So this is somewhat sound. Very nice. Very nice. Well done. D6 is beauty. D6 was a beauty. That was very nice. Neat. Yeah, Tindy, this is a valid line. So he rook blocks, take, king he check, king c8, and maybe takes. And we have got a shed load of pawns for the piece. But objectively speaking, I don't know which color I would prefer to play it with, to be honest. The reason why the engine thinks that this is a mistake is because this is a shed load of a better move than what you did. Or queen g3. With the idea of coming in here. The engine also doesn't like your move because of queen b3. And I assume that now I stepped out of the pin, I have got a hanging bishop here. So, and I'm also maybe on some day threatening this. It looks clumsy. Or rather like forced. It's in not forced, but like artificial. Let's go with artificial. This doesn't feel like a genuinely dangerous move. It looks pretty for prettiness sake. I don't understand any of what you said there. 1 out of 10 out of you. This was a 75% to the engine. I'm sorry, I can't figure out what that means. And this is just beauty. Yeah, very nice game. Very nice game. Few boo-boos here and there, but overall I really liked it. Nice aggression. Nice aggression. Yeah, it's weird now. It labels it as a blunder. When I initially went through it, it labeled it as a mistake, not a blunder. Of course they would. Yeah, queen b3 is not a difficult move at all to find. Yeah, no, they would find that every day of the week. I mean, if you think about it, the whole idea is based on the fact that this is pinned. So naturally your first reaction is, if I can't take this because it's pinned, I'll get out of the pin. Like, that's a 30-second concept for a proper GM. But you don't need to get butthurt about the fact that the engine labels it as a blunder. Who cares? I played a lot of blunders in my life where I thought, I would still play it. Especially the sexy looking ones. So, what's the big deal about that? Embrace your blunders as well as you embrace your geniuses and you will be golden. And in the end of the day, you won a beautiful game with it. So, people need to take this with a bit more chill. I like this game. Good fun. Okay, let's see if Mr. Bill managed to get his act together. What about Queen D2? I don't know what that means. Mr. Bill, is it meant to be 28 moves? There is still weird brackets at the end of this, just saying. No, still doesn't work, brother. The struggle city is still very, very real. You still put a bracket in there. I don't understand how you guys copy freaking PGNs. Like, What are you doing? How hard can it be? I'm fixing up the PGNs. It's still not working, man. And frankly, there's no better way to waste my time and everyone else who is waiting for analysis than typing in or copying shitty PGNs with brackets in it. Yeah, I think I should make a YouTube video on how to send PGNs. That sounds about right. But now I want to double check if it's just the ChessCom analysis board that is very, very picky. No, Lichess doesn't take it either. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing, Mr. Bill. I thought that copying a PGN would be easy enough, but I will let you do it again. We will have a look at good old Sushi, although I don't think he's here anymore, but... yeah, I did play Norm. I didn't know he was a legend. Oh, this was my Sushi, but I've seen this game already. Yeah, okay, we've seen this already. Well, I have. But bro, you already sent it to me, right? Like, I've seen it. In fact, we've gone through it together. Like, what have you been smoking? Send me something new, bro. You already got your well-earned credit for it. Ah, you're just flexing now, are you? Ah, I see, I see, I see. Okay, okay. Fair enough, so I will slow down a little bit. So rook Saccharino, like a freaking boss. Now if king takes, then knight takes. And obviously this is a little bit of a Matutski. So good old Frienderino takes e5 and we go, yeah, nah. Still Matutski, baby. I don't think I played Shirazi. Maybe I did. What is their ChessCom username? I don't know. I think I played him. And now we are threatening check and checkmate. And that's absolutely lethal. And the only way to get out of it really is rook d8 when g4, g5 is going to mop up. Yes. Yeah, he became unintentionally very famous for hanging a rook on move 3. Oh, Tindy, don't I love you. Alright, let's see if Mr. Bill is shaping up. No, that's still the same shit. Wait, who was Transport of London? Did I forget someone? There is a game from Transport of London. Who is that? Was that the Rui Lopez guy? Yeah, I might have forgotten him, right? Oh, Runaway Lopez. There you go, buddy. Okay, are you white or black? No, I didn't keep on missing. I just didn't know the priority order. Okay, so we are black in this one. Let's have a look-see. Wait, what the frick is happening here? Your opponent didn't know how the pieces move? Okay, I don't mind d6. I would have considered h6. What? Whoa! Isn't there something looking down that way? Hello, hello, hello? What's happening here? So it's check, it is check, and it is goodbye night. Shame. Oh, come on, man. Like, he is teasing you. Far out. Okay, if this is not knight f2, then nothing it is, yeah? If knight f2 doesn't work here, I don't want to do chess in anymore. Are we with me? Knight f2, rook f2, e4, and we're winning the house. Yep, thank you very much. Come again. What is the rating level of this game, brother? Oh, okay, we are on the 1,000 mark. Okay, okay, that explains. That explains. Funnily enough, knight f2 is winning again because after e4, queen e4, now we have got check. I'm guessing we missed that one too. Yep. Dude, like going backwards in chess since when? Since when? Sacrilege. Absolute sacrilege. My dude, even on 1000 level, you should read the position. Your opponent has an entire wing completely undeveloped against your dominant, fully deployed army. Gregory, wake up, buddy. Like, I don't know what you are smoking. Yeah, Gregory is losing the plot on YouTube, but we'll give him some time to recover from the fact that tactics exist. No matter what the question is, this can't be the answer. Yeah, but see, this is the problem, Runaway, that we need to start stirring away from telling stories. This has never been about rook for 2 pieces. This has always been about you murdering your opponent. Because now you're going to win the piece and the rook. Textbook. There is a threat, we respond. Why don't we murder our opponent instead with e4? This is not threatening with shit. So, free piece, game over. That is a shameful move, man. Now some knight g5 ideas might actually kill us. I'm really worried. Yeah, knight g5, no? Aren't we dying here to knight g5? Hello? Of course, your opponent is also immune to put pieces on prey. But this looks to me like good luck stopping mate, no? Anyone at home? Well, that's not second on empty square. That's a mate in one threat. But anyway, thankfully the opponent is completely blind. Good. Why not g5? Hello? What? Isn't g5 the way to go? Kick that knight in the face. If you had the intuition of Hikaru, you would have never questioned knight f2 e4, my friend. That is a lot more intuition than calculation. I hate to tell you that, Mr. Gregory. What? You mean you don't like winning a piece for free? Is that what you're telling me? I'm sorry, but I don't find your argument here particularly convincing. You don't like winning pieces for free. To be fair, you're not going to win a piece if they find b5. You're only going to win a pawn. But nonetheless, the question remains: what are we not like? What are we not liking about this? Is it coming from that absolutely crazy concept of, oh, my king is not safe when there are no queens on the board and you actually need to bring the queen to the king to the action? Did we miss that lesson? Yeah, knight back to f3 and then you just go to the d file and be happy. You can also go g4 and be a royal pest. And after knight h4, king g7 again, the knight has nowhere to go. Yeah. I would have still played g5 here. Can you explain to me what this move is doing? What is the purpose of this move? Like, what is our vision about how we are going to win this endgame? I don't think we have one. I know there is attacks f2. Well, if the idea was that it attacks f2 so the rook can't move, I have no more questions because the rook totally can move. Yeah, you needed to bring the boss. I would have played here g5 and then bring the king. That nothing you can say in your defense, brother. Don't even finish the sentence. You are in a check. One move wins, one move loses. No defense. Don't say it. It makes it worse. Oh, and then we topped it with knight e5. Okay, now I'm curious what you wanted to say in your defense. That wait because it gets worse? What? By the way, conversion by the opponent, 10 out of 10. Ay, brother. That was not pretty. But I wanted to give you one thing that definitely needs to be said about your chess. And that is that your opening play was definitely a lot better than that of your opponents. So let's have a look at numero dos. So we are behind the black pieces again. What the fuck is c6? Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. That was a mouse slip. It was meant to play c5, right? Okay, so we mouse slipped into c6. Happens to the best of us. Fine. Wow. I'm sorry. c5, bishop f4, and then I get hit with knight b5 ideas. Don't. Please do not. You are allowed to disallow knight b5. For example, knight c6 is a beautiful move to disallow knight b5 because it loses to queen a5 check. And when they play e3, again, you are allowed to say, no worries. I stopped knight b5 because now knight b5, rook c8, and this is dog shit. Mr. Runaway Lopez, this is an unprincipled move in the sense that it stops the c4 break. The way how you take advantage of this is that your c5 break hasn't been taken away for you, so you do it. This move is the equivalent of you watching a football match and team 1 says, hey guys, we're not going to attack at all. How is that? And then the other team goes back, we won't want to do that either. And then the audience is watching two teams, neither of them ever crossing the halfway line. That's what you're doing here now. That's like, they're playing dog shit, and you go like, can do as well. Now, objectively, there's nothing wrong with this move. It's just that, why would you play chicken chess if your opponent plays chicken chess? Basically, the mentality that you are lacking or missing here is that this is a move that you look to punish. This is a move that doesn't punish it, it justifies it. You made sense of their move instead of calling it out. Do you have a coach, by the way, that who would have told you these things? Or am I the only one, or am I the first one who tells you these things? Because maybe I'm having a bit of a go at you. Right, so you haven't heard these things before, have you? Fair enough. Okay, let's move on. Bishop t2, Jesus Christ. e3, knight e7, yeah, knight h4, yep. Yep. I want to show you a little trick here. If you go to e4 and they take you, you can take it back with the pawn, and out of nowhere you're going to threaten to trap that knight in 2 moves. But it's better done if the pawn is already on e6, because then g5 is an immediate threat to trap the knight. So for example, they play bishop e2, e6, castles, g5, see you, game over. This is very good. This is very good again. So fucking hell. 2 out of 2 you are ahead of the opening with black. That is something that you definitely need to pride yourself on. Very good. The fuck is that? Okay, that is a bit of a sissy move. I don't like that. So I would have considered here queen a5, potentially bishop b4, potentially e4, potentially queen e7. These are my candidate moves. Why are you putting a queen on c7? Yeah, bishop c1 was definitely next level. Well, thank you, Deroy Lopez. Runaway. The thing is that you overcomplicate the meta. Keeping the tension is totally fine. In that case, just develop the rest of your shit. What hasn't developed yet? Queen. What is the best square? Either that or that. I find it pointless to put it here because you already have 2 attacking h2. So having a third on that is less impactful than having an additional pin on the e file. But bro, that's my point. Like, how is that an argument? Like, you already are attacking it with 2. In fact, this is the worst square on the entire board for the queen. If they castle kingside, you want that queen here, bro. Now, I know it can't go there, but that doesn't make it not the best square. Like, this is horrid. You would want these to be the other way around for it to work. As far as castling kingside is concerned. Lord the Jesus Christ. Okay, what? Like, why are you castling here? Why not here? Side note, by the way, that bishop b4 would have very, very seriously put your opponent on the verge of defeat. Like, you're ignoring their moves entirely. Like, bishop b4, bishop d2, take, and you won the chess game. And shout out for you, putting the queen on c7. That's the reason why we're winning the game. There you go. I just justified your move. So, there you have it. You could have put this into use by this magical thing called calculation. Bang, bang, bang. Now, on 1000 level, this is a tall task. Castles here. 1 year free membership for the Chicken Chess Club. If you actually have some cojones, you castle here. Which is objectively a lot better anyway. Nah, this is too slow, man. If this was the agenda, I would have much rather you put the rook on e8 first. Because now we are threatening ed4. And if they go knight e2 to block the tap, like in the game, then e4 wins the piece. So you did the wrong way around, my friend. This is not good enough, because it doesn't deal enough damage. You cashed in too soon. What you do is you develop first, and now you have got still e4 floating, but right now ed4 is a game-winning threat. So now they have got a lot more problems, and thus a lot more complicated answers to the same question. No brainer. On any level of chess, by the way, because this is the last piece that hasn't been developed. Okay, moving on. Whoa. I like the bold exchange sack, but I don't know if it's sound. You got a brilliant for it though, so... What? They went here. Fucking hell. Of all the sexy winning moves, bishop f4 is easily my favorite here. Okay. Yep. Fuck. Man, like, this is the time when there is no excuse for you to not to lift this knight up and put it anywhere on the board. Every single knight move you have with this knight wins the game. Whether it be knight here, knight here, knight here, knight here, anywhere. It wins. Because you are killing with rook e2. This is absolutely unacceptable that you are piling up here and you don't take this. Like, what? We are winning a queen and the rest of the white army, and instead we are playing this to remove the pressure from the pin. What are we doing, dude? What? Is this not good enough, or what do you want me to say, bro? How does that not win is the question. Are we looking at the same shit? I don't know how to tell you this, my friend, but it's mate. Like, it's not even the fact that they are 5 queens down. How does that not win? Dude, if you don't look to play rook e2 here, you are not playing this game. On that note, by the way, knight c3 is also super winning. Again, rook e2 unstoppable, but I would play knight f2 any day of the week because I'm attacking 5 of their 3 pieces are left on the board. Yeah, that is not on. Nope. You're not going back in chess, backward in chess. We go forward and then we reacquire the file. Yep, yep. No, no. Mate, go for mate. Why are you trading the best piece on the board for the worst? I understand that you want this to happen, but it won't. Actually, you know what? I'll take it back. This is actually a good winning attempt. I missed. I would have liked you to go for mate, but never mind. So again, I'm really, really big time missing from you the constant desire. Pollard hug, thank you. To go for mate. Like here, you can't help but notice that if you give a check with the queen on the e file, then it's mate. So the only moves that you look at here are knight moves. Like knight in. Because now I'm threatening check, check, checkmate. Or rather check, check, and then mate. Like this is not a chess move, considering what's going on the board. Like, if you are not looking for mates here, you're not playing this game. Your only thinking now is, how is it mate the fastest? And any knight move would do the job, hitting queen and threatening the mate. Any other move here is completely unacceptable in the greatest sense, because you are unaware of the winning nature of the position. Like, yes, this does win it, but in another game where the field will be far more level, your only winning move will be to notice that there is a mate, and so you have no excuse not to practice it while you can. I'm not sure where that knight is going, but okay. And now when you have got mate in one threat, you thought the best idea would be to trade queens instead of blocking with the knight. Bro, do you not have some explanation to do here? 1000 level. What happened, dude? You went, hey, I want to checkmate you. And then he went like, no, just joking. I don't actually. What? Yeah. Lots of love is needed, brother, in your short-term calculations and your attacking chess. Your openings are pretty decent for the time being. That needs no love. But your calculation and what should I do in what types of positions is definitely lacking. Now, if you have never had a chess coach, you are doing some amazing stuff, man. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. Okay, I don't know if you are white or black, Mr. Bill. Did Mr. Bill indicate the color? Now that we have a successful PG and copy-paste completed. I'm gonna go with we are white here because the guy seems to play English, I think, from memory. Please tell me, Mr. Bill, that we are white. I wouldn't want you to play this stock shit with black. Oh, ay. Mr. Bill is still in the house? You're black? And you played bishop takes d4 of all things. What? Like either bishop b4, knight e4. Yeah, unfortunately, I regretfully heard that when you said that. Second, I would even be happier to play bishop d6 here, although c5 might hurt here. Yeah, you might be down to bishop b4 here, which sucks. Maybe queen e7. But the bishop d4 is, I think, is the worst possible move to play here to get a pawn back. Also, why you are playing bishop c5 here, walking into knight e5 is beyond me. I mean, theory is bishop b4, and on your level, if you play c4 e5, you should know theory at least up to move 4. Right? Like, it's really not okay to be +1 with black on 2200 level, unless we mouse slipped into this. Yuck, this is bad news, man. Yeah, I mean, bishop b4, this is theory. Bishop c5, and I don't know if I can save you from here. Okay, so what do you want me to say? That's a bit like saying that you prepare a dish, it tastes absolute shit, and someone goes like, did you follow the recipe? And you go like, nah, I did not want to follow the recipe. Follow the recipe, brother. If you want people to appreciate what you cooked, you follow the recipe. At least for the basic ingredients, for goodness sake. Like, if at one point you decide to change ginger to galangal, I think that for most recipes would be okay. But if you replace the lamb cutlets for vanilla ice cream, that's gonna make it really, really not cool. And that's what you did here. Yeah, I think after knight b5, that would have been a fairly good time to fold it in and start a new game. Okay, luckily they castled. Far out, king g7. Oh boy. But why don't you play bishop b4, man? I don't get... First of all, you could play d5 here, which is a reverse Sicilian and a lot of fun. And you could play bishop b4, which is also a lot of fun. I don't get what your problem is. And instead you play the move that is bad against everything. Like, even after d4 you are being laughed at here. Like, dude, you are on a level of chess where I don't like theory is just like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And the rest of the game, I think you were just absolutely roasted, so, or rather killed. So I don't really want to go too deeply into this because you seem completely gutted. That was dumb. They really, really needed to keep the wedge here. Hey, Pranay! Yeah, man. Look, in a way, I really, really dislike this submission because there is nothing I can tell you about this game apart from the fact that you need to learn openings, man. And it's not even the fact that theory. It just is it's a tactical blunder. Like, it's not that you didn't know what theory was. You just blundered. But beyond that, you are 2200 on ChessCom Rapid. You need to learn at least 6 to 8 moves of theory against everything. Congrats, Pranay. And bishop b4 is easy to go. And d5 is also easy to go. But like, I feel like I cheated you out of your money here. But because after this, I have nothing to tell you. Like, what could you have done better? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You did your best. So don't end up here. Yep. Yeah, I've got nothing, man. Like, your position is beyond saving. I don't know who this opponent was, but they played a very solid game, by the way. I mean, you deleted every detail that was interesting for us. But, yeah, I mean, he played a 91.2 game with one mistake, and that's it. Yeah, c6 was sus. I agree with that. I would have played here d5. That is probably the only productive criticism I have for you, that you desperately needed to play d5 here. And then after takes, you can just liberate the bishop and play against the isolated pawns. This would have been by far the best course of action for you. Because once you played c6 and you never got to develop these pieces, it was over. And even here, I would rather play d6 than allow d6 myself. So it loses a pawn, and I would play this any day of the week rather than letting them push d6 in. These are my two constructive tidbits on top of what I already said. FIDE 1800, yeah. I mean, look, the problem is that you never gave him a chance to show you how good a player he was, because on move 4, you were already behind 5 kilometers. Like, just so that we are on the same wavelength, this position is about plus 1.8. And we are on move 7. So, yeah, you need to learn opening theory, man. But again, adding to that, this was not even a matter of opening theory. It was that you played a blunder. Because even if you don't know bishop b4 and you play it, you are fine. Like, you can just wing it without learning it. Alright, have I covered everyone's questions, desires, problems, the whole shebang? Because if I have, I believe I'm going to call it a day. By the way, the idea here too is to transpose into some reversed Sicilian setups. So for example, here you take the knight, you play queen e7, and you play d5. And after take, it's a reverse Sicilian again. I have already analyzed your game, brother. By the way, just one more question, Mr. Bill. What is your opening against 1d4? Because you're telling me now that you prepared against d4. Fine. What is your opening against d4? I will wait for this answer before I log off. Because 98% of C4 opening, D4 openings can be turned into... So why don't you then play against C4, G6? And about 70% of your games from here will transpose back into the King's Indian. The only line that is not King's Indian-esque here, well, there are a few, but the two main ones is the Botvinnik English, which is really not that big of a deal for you to want to avoid, and the other one is the normal English with D3. These are the two things you need to learn, and everything else is back into King's Indian. But C4 E5 is also fine, but you can't just play it and hope that you will be fine. Mr. Harrington sent us another game. I didn't realize this. Luckily, it's a quickie. So I'm going to blitz through this, and that will be the end of today. This becomes boring. No, it doesn't. I play it all the time. I never get bored of it. In fact, I like it a lot. But I'm happy to accept your argument it's boring, but then you have to learn something. Okay, this is chicken chess. We should be playing here d4 every day of the week. And after castles knight f6, this is even bigger chicken chess. We should play d4 every day of the week. This is the only way to play that doesn't punish the h6. Mr. Gregory, this is not good enough. Minding that d5 is also shit. Bishop c5 and black is totally fine. You need to tidy up this thing. What? Book review is coming tomorrow or soon. Oh. Okay. Good job. Poor opening moves though. Castles is for sissies. We play d4. And d3 is for sissies. We play d4. Other than that, schmicko effort. Absolutely schmicko effort. Oh, don't go there, Tana. Don't go there, man. I don't want to hear that. And you know it. Alright, calling it a day, ladies. Next 2 days I'm likely not gonna stream. Wednesday is the most likely when I will be back. Take care, watch Goa. Thank you very much. And yeah, stay tuned. YouTube videos are coming. No, unfortunately, Runaway Lopez, you have to just play it by the ears. But generally speaking, I stream this time on weekdays, usually on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But now with the the kitchen renovations, everything is out of whack. Alright, ladies, have a top day. Enjoy your chess. Be good. Love you all.
Huge. ChessCoachAndras. It's so quiet. Here we go. I'll put the music on. I'll put the music back on. A huge shout out for ChessCoachAndras. Thank you so much for the raid and welcome everybody to the Cash Cafe. We are winding down, throwing some blitz games right now in this arena, and we're playing some City Guesser.